USS aircraft carrier and in military housing, Coy's parents always reminded him it's not where you live, but it's how you live that's important. And Coy really took those lessons to heart, and he applied them to providing and working with affordable housing and helping to lift those individuals up and focus on how they live. Please welcome Bella Communities.
First of all, thank you, Aisha, and welcome everyone. Can anyone hear me okay? Yep. Thank you. Volunteering. Volunteering is good, in the words of Gordon Gekko. But quite often, volunteering is something that is done to or done for people in low-income housing. Did that sink in? Done to, done for. These are low-income housing residents. There are now 10 million households, 45 low-income housing families. That's more than 1 in 10 Americans. This is how we want to see the world. We want an inclusion model where we engage low-income housing residents to volunteer and bring about change from within, be part of the equations, volunteer side by side. And volunteering here transcends an act of kindness or fun, but it's also done as a way to a pathway into opportunity. So we at Bella Communities have innovated a program called the Resident Volunteer United Program, called Rev Up, and we mobilize low-income housing residents to volunteer and earn an economic opportunity, but also to aspire to a better life. So the strategy of the Rev Up program, let's start with the affordable housing owners. We want to help them to select housing service programs that actually empower the residents and actually at the same time help the owners minimize their rent losses. I'll tell you why they're minimizing rent losses. Because the strategy is to get the residents out into the community and volunteer with nonprofits and earn a rent credit, up to 25% of their renter's portion, so they can meet their rent obligations. These are the working poor. And finally, with this new infusion of hours, the nonprofits in the community are able to build capacity and scale. So it's a virtuous circle. We designed a program that's scalable, replicable, and impactful. It's replicable because we put in systems and processes. It's scalable because it's seamless integration and we standardize the process. And it's impactful because we're starting to change behavior and pivoting the people in low-income housing residents from a position of taker, but to a provider position. We have codified an implementation and training methodology, and we want to bring that to other property owners to adopt the program. Let me just unpack that a little bit. So the methodology is, with a partnership mindset with property owners, we help them to do discovery and assessment and tailor a program that is fitting the property profile. And then we train the trainers, integrate the volunteer management process into their normal operations. And here's a Spark event where we bring together corporate volunteers and resident volunteers to do a corporate community event. And then we also put together a data collection tool, a common platform to gather all the data. And we use data metrics to drive the program success. And then we do a back-end support to have peer-to-peer networking. The pilot program so far, we've seen in 4 properties, the residents are earning 17,000 of rent credits, so it works. And they're deploying 2,000 new hours into the community. And here's an example of a map of City of Anderson where the nonprofits are benefiting. So where do we go from here? We just did the pilot phase. We want to go to the demonstration phase, selecting 25 new adopters and foundation pioneers to help us scale this thing and gather more body of evidence for future phases of dissemination and policy change. The team to bring this forward includes myself and our co-founders, Sukesh O'Neill, and a professional board and an advisory board and alliances with the United Way of Central Indiana and the American Association of Service Coordinators. And finally, we can't do it alone. So if you are a property owner, a foundation grantor, or a researcher, we'd love to talk to you more. Thank you.
Great job, and community.